Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Brightburn. He's not here to save the world.
Directed by David Yarovesky, starring Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, and Jackson A. Dunn. There's a couple who live on a farm that are desperately trying to have a child, and one day they get one, delivered from space. And on his 12th birthday, he unlocks his superpowers and is given the task to take the world. So what do we like?
I like that it's maybe a little more realistic than your average Superman kind of story. Like if you're a 12-year-old boy and you had unlimited powers, I mean, you'd probably be a shithead.
He's an evil kid. He just has to kill people or do harm. I think the kid absolutely nailed it. Like, he was creepy as hell. And he kind of goes from being like just this run-of-the-mill little dweeby boy that kind of doesn't have friends at school.
Smart, too.
And then he'll just like turn into this other demon and just ignore everything and just focus on the voices in his head and then goes nuts. All while trying to piece together a cool uniform.
I don't know about the uniform. I mean, it was disturbing. It looked like a lobster to me. So.
It kind of reminded me of the budget Spider-Man suit. So I can imagine he'll be wearing spandex in the next one, maybe.
You think someone will be like want to help him out?
Aunt May comes in like, I got you, sir.
We gotta help this young man. There were some good kills. And some pretty good gore, too.
It's not like over the top with a bunch of different kills, but the ones that you see have like a massive impact that people are going to remember. I kind of like the family struggle as well, because on one side you have the father who's like suspecting that this kid is up to no good. And mom damn well knows he is as well, but she won't let anyone know that.
Total denial.
Yeah, she's in denial because she wanted a baby for so long. This is her child. And even though this guy is going out and fucking people up, and she's like, no, it totally wasn't him. Dad's like,
he's 12.
Please, for the love of God, can't you see this blood on his shirt? Do you not see the massacred
Could be
chickens?
anything.
And it's good to see that kind of relationship struggle over this child, because you don't know who's gonna cave. Like, is the dad gonna just be in denial at some point and just wanna live with it? Or is he gonna try and put a stop to it? Or is the mother gonna realize, oh shit, yeah, we've really harbored a villain here, we should also kill it. It must be killed. Send him back to space. I also like the general pace of the movie because, well, it is a horror movie. There are so many sci-fi elements. It plays out very, very similar to a superhero movie, obviously. And there are a lot of comedic moments, but not over the top. They're almost moments that will force the audience to kind of laugh because it's kind of creepy and you don't know how to react, I guess. Or it's just hilarious.
Yeah,
there are moments
like,
that are supposed to be funny.
Just a little dry humor.
Okay, it's time to go. Nope. Mm-mm.
Actually, on pacing, like I thought it was a little slow for me, actually. Let's segue into dislikes. What do we dislike? Just for me, it was a little slow moving, just a lot of like slow contemplative scenes, lacking action.
I think that's what's kind of weird about the melding of a superhero movie or supervillain movie and a horror film. Because you have to have those slow, intense moments to kind of build up to a scare, but you're also expecting this kid to kind of fly around and do shit. And he does do that, but it's kind of balanced in a strange way. I liked it, but I know that more people are going to probably be on your side on this one.
It like lacked motive, almost. But he was just like this nice, peaceful, dweeby, quiet kid. And then, but also like the most evil fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
Right, like I'm crushing on this girl, and then I'm crushing this girl.
Literally. There were clear targets.
Yeah, this was...
But he killed all the wrong people.
Yeah, he didn't kill all the right people. This is one of those movies that I think they shot a lot longer. Like, this would have been probably a 2-hour movie that had half-hour cut. Like... There are clear motivations built up and characters that definitely should have been targets that were just kind of brushed aside, even after seeing them on screen like 3 or 4 times, like bullying this kid, and they don't get their comeuppance. And that's weird because other people just look at him the wrong way and he's like, well, you're fucking dead.
You're fucking dead. There was a sort of element of you don't know if they're gonna get it or not.
Right.
Because anyone could really just be ripped apart at any moment.
Yeah, he's really fast at what he does.
Yeah, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, you can't hurt him.
But every superhero has their opposite, right?
Right, which is a big downside for this film because there is no hero.
I was waiting for that.
There's no one to kind of battle against him.
This guy.
He just goes and does his thing, so the story's more about just the family and him ripping it apart, and there is no one to stop it.
Complete sociopath. Not a lot happened, in a way.
And almost every interaction with the kid, you kind of knew, like, how he would turn his face from being, like, a bad guy to a good guy. He's a nice little kid when the parents are around.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna go evil at some point when he puts on the mask, you know?
Don't tell my mom.
I'm
I was
sure
adopted, and my origin story is the exact same as that one.
We talked about not really having motives, but there is something there that looks like there's more to this story. Yeah. Like the spaceship stuff and the ending a little bit. You're like, what's really happening here?
A lot of unanswered questions, lots of room for further detail.
Yeah, and so I imagine that this is going to become a franchise, or I would hope so anyway. Because I want to see what else happens. Or I want to see a really extended cut of this film.
I want to see a badass fight scene.
You're right. I think that's a big problem, too. It's like, it's a 12-year-old, so nobody really wants to punch him or anything.
Right.
So no one does.
How do you find a fucking spaceship baby in your backyard and never tell anybody about it?
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. This was an interesting movie because it mashed the superhero genre with a horror film. It's basically Smallville with a shithead who kills people. The acting was really well done, and I thought our boy did a really good job kind of going from normal kid to crazy psycho kid. The kills were really well done, and I like the setup as an origin story. However, there was a lot of missed potential in this because scenes were too predictable and there wasn't really like a counterpart to our villain. It's still a fun time and I would recommend it, so I'm gonna give this 3.5 Pam's fiancés from The Office out of 5.
Well, I like the idea of a more realistic Superman origin story. The movie for me was maybe a bit slow and kind of anticlimactic. There was definitely some good kills, some good gore, and all around, you know, it was a good time. I'd recommend taking a look at it. It's definitely something I haven't seen before, so that was refreshing. But overall, the movie was kind of a bit stagnant. It left me definitely wanting more. So for that, I'm gonna have to give it 2 lobster masks out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, it's in theaters now. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.